That's right, baby. Knockout punch. It's the last time I get to say it, so I'm going to say it. I am looking for the knockout punch. You know why? Because my people are suffering needlessly for lack of knowledge. Everybody needs to know what we know, and nobody does. Your medical doctor may be the nicest person God ever created, but your medical doctor doesn't know what's best for you. They only know what they've been trained in. And what they've been trained in is horrible in the treatment of chronic disease. It is horrible. It has a horrible track record, an unbelievably piss-poor track record when it comes to chronic disease. So, you should abandon them. Don't go to see them. Fire your medical doctor now when it comes to helping you with a chronic disease, because medical doctors, bless their hearts, are not trained in health care. They're trained in disease management, and there's only so far that can take you. Let's go to Montana and talk to Elaine. Hey, Elaine, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. And first, I want to just thank you so much for all that you've done for all of us, myself included. And I have two testimonies. One is myself, and the other one is a young lady that we spoke with you a while back, and it's an awesome testimony. It'll bring you to tears. So, longevity has just absolutely changed my life in so many ways, and you've been a big part of that as well. I've learned so much from you and from Doc and Longevity Nation. And so I went into this 60 pounds heavier, severe arthritic pain, needing hip joint replacement, low thyroid so low that it was not even functioning, kidney stones, you name it, just tired, fibromyalgia, just a little bit of everything. And in 3 months, all my joint pain was gone. In 8 months, my thyroid was back to normal. Things just got better and better. I look 20 years younger, literally. I'm a great-grandmother 3 times. I don't look a day over 40, and maybe even a little younger, I don't know, but really young for my age. And I didn't look that way before. People look at my before picture and after picture, and they're like, oh, my gosh, you don't even look like the same person. And the most recently, I had a head-on car collision in January, and I got hurt, pretty bad. Brain injury, broken nose, broken hand, just all beat up. But I'm here, and my broken hand healed in 3 weeks. I had the cast off in 3 weeks. And I'm fully recovering. My husband and I now are hiking up mountains, 3,400 feet rise, 16 miles round trip, and we're hiking twice a week every week, and life is good. And financially, my business is growing, and I'm able to help a lot of folks. And my initial goal was to pay for my products, and now we've won a cruise, never been on a cruise, and Longevity completely paying for a cruise. We're in 6-figure income, and we love our new lifestyle and our new life, and we just feel like God is behind this and that we've been given extra time. My husband and I haven't been married very many years, and we got married later in life, and we're just like little young newlyweds, and we just feel like we've been given 20 extra years or 30, I don't know, 40, I don't know. Yeah, so we're happy campers.
That beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, right?
Yes, it does, and we love seeing you at convention, and we can't wait to see you again, and I'm right on the same page with you. I think that this is an amazing decision that you've made. I love your radio show, but I do believe that you're going to reach more people and help more people build their longevity business, and we're just very thankful for that. And I think overall it's just going to be wonderful changes, and we're looking forward to it. Now, my other testimony, you may remember her, Sarah in Montana. She was paralyzed 7 years ago when about a third of a tree broke loose in a windstorm, hit her in the back, and it broke her neck, broke her back, punctured her lung, almost killed her, and she was air vac'd out. She was in the hospital in Seattle, Washington for 6 weeks or more with surgeries and everything else. And for 7 years, she's been in a wheelchair, paralyzed. She didn't feel anything from the middle of her back down. The broken neck is not where she got her spinal injury. Her spinal cord was severed 70%, upper mid-back. And she didn't feel anything from there down for 7 years. And we met, and she started with one tangerine, and she started feeling sensations within a week. She started feeling some tingling. And then I spoke to her about going to hear Dr. Wallach lecture, and she did that. And she got on the full bone and joint program and a couple of extra things. That's been about a year and a half ago. And when we called you a few months ago, she had just got back from Project Walk in Las Vegas. She's standing. Now, she never stood before except in a standing frame where it actually lifts you up and holds you there and locks your knees and everything. And she's standing, at that time, 3 months ago when we called you, she was standing and she's making great progress. And that all progressed from just tingling to more feeling to sensations to finally she could flex her thigh muscle. And now just recently she is now she went back to Project Walk. She's riding a stationary bicycle. Wow. And she's doing a lot of it without any help, and they just tell her that she's making great progress. And so we're believing that she's going to walk across the stage and give her testimony at the next convention. And that's the story.
Unbelievable. Isn't this just unbelievable? I mean, from simple stuff, no doctor's appointment necessary, no insurance copay. Nobody had to fly 6,000 miles to some, clinic, special health clinic in Switzerland in order to, have their biochemistry micromanaged. I mean, that's all well and good, but that's not what we do. That's not what's necessary here. And again, every time I hear a testimonial like this, my mind goes to the millions of people all around the world they can't sleep through the night. They can't walk down the block. They can't, their life is in the crapper for no good reason, It's just lack of knowledge. I mean, it's remarkable. The things that I got to tell you, as a naturopathic physician, we are trained to support and promote the body's ability to optimize its structure and function with many different types of therapy, acupuncture and herbs and vitamins and minerals and nutritional supplements, hydrotherapy, physical medicine, electrostim, magnetic radiation. There's all kinds of things that naturopathic doctors are taught. And you really have to be a knucklehead to not get good results as a naturopathic doctor, because really all that you're doing is just helping the body along, right? It's really an easy thing to do. And I got great results in my private practice, which I've been doing for 26 years now. Well, no, that's not true. 23 years now. Private practice for 23 years. I got great results before I met Dr. Wallach. But after I met Dr. Wallach, I've never seen stuff like this. I've never seen people who had a spinal cord injury and the spinal cord was severed and now they're walking again. I've never seen that. I've never seen type 2 diabetes definitively diagnosed and then 3 months later it's gone, definitively gone with follow-ups from lab work. I've never seen that happen. But I see it all the time now with longevity. And I really want to impress upon the listening audience this one thing. And I thank you, Elaine, so very much for everything.
Thank you, Dr. Glidden.
All right, we're going to keep moving this forward, girl. You don't you worry about it. And it's people like you that are going to be the main movers and shakers. But what I want to tell people is this simple thing, that in the world of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, which is developed and delivered by physicians, Dr. Wallach is the unrivaled superstar. Dr. Wallach has forgotten more about pathophysiology than most physicians alive know. Dr. Wallach's knowledge base is unbelievably complex, and Dr. Wallach's experience with pragmatic medical nutrition applications is unrivaled, unmatched by any physician on planet Earth. The things I've seen people recover from under Dr. Wallach's tutelage are remarkable to me. And I got great results before I met Dr. Wallach. So you can just imagine. I am here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are struggling with a health condition and you're looking for something outside of mainstream medicine, you have a lot of options. There are a lot of options in the world, right? Dr. Oz is starting to, get his feet wet in this territory. There are integrative medical clinics all popping up like mushrooms after, a spring rain all around the country. There are lots of people with lots of ideas about holistic interventions. Everybody it seems like coming out of the corners now. Everybody and their brother has an opinion about this or about that or about the other thing. Here's my advice to you: if you have been consistently let down by conventional medicine, but you know there must be a different way, and you're actively searching for it, you've just found it. My advice: follow Dr. Wallach's method for 90 days. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Follow Dr. Wallach's advice. Follow the advice that's outlined here in my Insider subscription service. Because this advice that's disseminated through these agencies represents the apogee, the perihelion, the alpha and the omega. This is the tip of the spear of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Nobody knows what Dr. Wallach knows. Everybody needs to know what Dr. Wallach knows. And if I'm going to pat myself on the back, I'm going to do it now. I have a very special skill set at being able to distill Dr. Wallach's knowledge down into a usable format that everybody and their brother can understand. Because in the final analysis, healing is not a sophisticated, complicated process the way that you've been trained and socialized and brainwashed to believe it to be. You don't need to go to a multi-million-dollar high-tech medical facility and pay thousands of dollars. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Why? Because your body was born with a God-given ability to fix itself. Your body is taking care of business right now without your conscious control. There are millions of metabolic processes happening right now that are outside of your conscious control. Your body knows how to take care of business. Medical nutrition supports that, and nobody does that better than Dr. Joel Wallach, my colleague, mentor, and friend. My advice: if Dr. Wallach says jump, you should say, how high? Coming back, ladies and gentlemen, it's Christian in Illinois after these messages. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a pleasure to be here, especially today. So many kind words, so many wonderful testimonials, rekindling my fires, making me much more proactive, and quite frankly, very, very, very thankful to have listened to Dr. Wallach 6 years ago when I did. Let's go to Illinois and talk to Christian. Hey, Christian, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden, and it's actually Christine, not Christian, but my son's name is Christian, so
well, all right, Christine. All right, welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm also Triplet Mom Christine from the chat room.
Oh, now I know who you are.
Yes. It is an honor to speak with you, and I have to say that I was very sad to hear that your radio show is going to be no longer. However, God willing and the creek don't rise, I will continue to support you and follow you in whatever endeavor you decide to embark on. So I'm very excited for you, and I wish you well, and I am truly, truly grateful for all that you have done and all that you will continue to do.
Well, you better, because I know where you live. I have your husband's, is it your husband's business card here?
Yes,
He's
the
stormtrooper, right?
Yes.
I'm holding it up right here.
Yes. That's awesome.
This is the best business card I've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm a huge sci-fi fan. Look at that. This is Triplet Mom Christine's husband, Biker Scout. TB9255. This is an actual organization. These guys dress up like stormtroopers, and they go around to, schools and hospitals and things like that to, make kids smile, to, help kids. It's really just an awesome thing. So you better stick with me, because I know where you live.
You know what? I will stick with you. And when my husband hears this radio show and the props you just gave him, he's going to be thrilled. So thank you for that. So I have to tell you, my son, I called about my son, I called about me, I called about my husband. All of my kids, all four of them, and my husband and I are on longevity. It's amazing. It truly is amazing. And my son had a lazy eye, and I called you and asked you about that. And his eye doctor had patched his eye to basically make the eye stronger, and that failed. So then he decided to give him glasses with bifocals to try and correct it. And so we had been doing this, and it wasn't working, and our next option was surgery, and I really, really did not want to do that. So I talked to you, and you basically told me what to do. He was already doing the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the OsteoFX, the ESAs, and selenium, but the secret sauce was the Wugo gel. So I started adding that into the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Beyond OsteoFX, and amazing things happened. And recently, we did family pictures for Christmas cards, and his glasses broke. And I was freaking out. I'm like, oh, my gosh, his eye's going to be turned in these photos. This is not going to be good. Well, when we left the studio, I looked at my husband, and I'm like, his eye did not turn in that entire time. And my husband was like, I noticed that too. And so his glasses are still broken. It's been 6 days. He hasn't worn glasses. His eye has not turned in one time.
Well, I don't think it was a coincidence that the glasses broke. I mean, I think you had a little angel there, helping you out.
Divine intervention. I agree 100%. Oh, my goodness. And, I mean, I can't thank you enough. And that is just one small testimony. I'm not going to keep you on the phone because I know other people want to call in and say thank you.
Well, look, you're awesome, man. Your whole family is just great. I love it. It really tickles me when entire families get on board with this and entire families see remarkable improvement here. It's rare that this happens, and so really you guys need to, think extra special good thoughts about yourself, because it's groups like you, it's families like you, it's people like you that really are going to be the main engines of social change here. So stick with me, Triplet Mom Christine. We're taking this to the moon, and I am so very excited to have people like you on board. And this is the thing, folks, right? So from our point of view, lazy eyes are related to osteoporosis of the skull. It's funky skulls. It's the bones in the skull have run out of the nutrients that they need to maintain their structural integrity. So what do? We support and promote healthy bones and joints. And guess what? It worked. And you know how many potholes and cliffs and danger zones that Triplet Mom Christine's son is going to avoid now moving forward in his life? Because unless you fix the medical nutrition problem, it doesn't just go away spontaneously. It gets worse. Stick around. North Carolina's up next. Carlos Santana, ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure. Let's see who's up next in the chat room. That would be North Kakalaki. We're going down to North Carolina, where the weather is finer, and talk to June. Hey, June, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I'm calling, like most others, just to say thank you for being there. That's most important, and you really have saved me. As many people have said, you never knew it, but I'm 80 years old, and I'm calling now, however, for myself and my son, Pat. I had been followed with medicine for high blood pressure and sinusitis for many years, and Pat was trying to get me to call you. Finally, I gave in, but only because I had a crisis, and that crisis was that my white blood count had skyrocketed. Yikes. And I just thought it was the end of the world.
Yeah.
So last Christmas time, you began to help me not only with the blood pressure and the sinusitis, you began to let me know that I did not have to go along with all of the suggested testing. I mean, they were testing and said, well, no, we didn't find anything, but it must be something else. Right. And I was able to finally say, they don't know, they're guessing. And I was feeling so much better. So I just said, no more. You gave me the will, the belief that I could do it. I began with longevity. So for 11 months, or 10 months now, I'm back to my old self. I'm walking 2 to 3 miles a day, and I am just so grateful.
God, I love
but
my
I wanted
job,
to
Jim.
tell you about my son, Pat.
All
2.5 years before that, Pat had a stroke.
Yikes.
He was all the things that we say that you need to be: strong, athletic, all those things. Didn't smoke, everything else. But he still had a stroke. And unfortunately, he was in Spain. And he is still in Spain. So all he could do was listen to your program and tell the doctors no and begin to follow the protocols as you prescribe them for other people. Now Pat is back. He has his own website. And even though he cannot get the supplements, any of the longevity products, about a month ago I sent him, just from myself, some of the products. And they kept them, they being, I guess, their system there. And 3 days ago, I received the entire package back. They would not deliver them.
Unbelievable.
So I say this to you, that not only have you saved my life, but you saved my son's life. He believes in you so strongly. My hope is that he'll be coming home soon. But meanwhile, he is working with whomever he can. I understand there's a possibility of working with the new office in Russia. So I just, again, want to say thank you. And I certainly will be following you.
June, my heart goes out to you, and I appreciate your kind words very, very, very much. I'm really feeling a little bit emotionally overwhelmed here, folks, but that was to be expected. I love your testimonials. I love your kind words. And look, let this be a cautionary tale, because as God is my witness, there was somebody pumping gas right next to you this morning. There was somebody buying coffee right next to you at Timmy Hortons yesterday, at Starbucks here 2 days ago. And the night before, they went to bed praying to God for help because they're up against it. Because conventional medicine sucks. It does. Conventional medicine for chronic disease sucks. And it's the reason that people everywhere are beneath the wheel of suffering. And you have a responsibility now, I believe, to spread the message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Remember, we don't treat disease in this format. We just give people advice about what they can do to have healthier hearts, healthier lungs, healthier brains. That's all that we do. And guess what? It works, for goodness sake. Let's go to California and talk to Kat. Hey, Kat, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. It's a pleasure to talk to you. A little bit sad, only because, you've always been there for me, and your time, your persistence, your passion, your kindness with all the callers, that's going to be missed. I can only hope that we'll be able to still, do the Insiders. Will that still be happening, the Insiders Club, or...
Oh, yeah. No, the Insiders Club is going to get better. I mean, that's going to be like amped up. We're making the Insider a million times better. That's why I'm doing this, to put my energy in another area that can be more effective for you. So if you like the Insider now, you're going to love it 3 months from now. So
that's
tuned.
encouraging. That's encouraging. The last couple of years, I've kind of had some problems finding an upline that would really support me and work with me. And I want you to know that you've been the one I've been able to call. You, Doc Wallach, have been the ones I've been able to call, and following your advice has made me healthy. And, I had the diabetes, and I've been able to get off all medications. I have energy, and I'm walking and volunteering. I'm 61. And I have several issues I've gotten under control because of your kind guidance and wisdom, and Doc too, and his books. And for a dozen years I've been listening to Doc. He's just incredible. He's kind of one of my heroes too.
Now here's an interesting question I want to ask you, Kat. So, what have your medical doctors said when they saw your recovery with your blood sugar issue? What kind of feedback did they give you?
Well, they suggest that they're not sure. In other words, they don't know what the heck to say, and they still want to always prescribe me medication. So to tell you the truth, Dr. Glidden, I really don't go to them anymore. I go once a year to keep up my wellness. I get what they call a wellness check once a year. But other than that, I don't take anything anymore. I don't check with them. They're kind of out of my loop.
Well, you know, the remarkable thing to, I know, well, that's a good thing, right? But the remarkable thing to me is, and that I'd like the listening audience to really kind of sit up and take notice to this, that we are of the belief that our medical doctors, our MDs, have our back when it comes to our health, but they don't. Because when an MD has been treating a patient for 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10 years with a particular condition, let's say type 2 diabetes, and they're actually getting worse because the prescriptions stop working and they need to be added to or increased. And then the patient gets frustrated with the MD's treatment. The patient goes somewhere else, goes to an acupuncturist, goes to a naturopath, gets a book at the health food store, listens to us, does something, the intention of which is to support and promote healthy blood sugars in this case. And then guess what? The blood sugar issue resolves in a couple of months. And then when that person goes back to the MD and the MD does the exam, and they see that everything's better, I mean, it's gone, the illness is gone, you would think that the next question out of the doctor's mouth should be, what did you do, who did you do it with, and where can I learn how you did it? You would expect that, right?
You would think.
But that never happens. And this is one of the biggest disconnects that exists in the world. People have been socialized to believe that their medical doctors have their back, and they don't. Again, the medical doctor is not trained to cure disease. The medical doctor is trained to manage disease, because the medical doctor is trained to believe that you can't cure disease. So even when they see a cured disease, they can't grok it. It's like a slave owner looking at a slave, and they just can't get the fact that they're not animals, that they're really humans too. And this,
Dr. Glidden, I didn't take the metformin, and I didn't even mention I've lost 60 pounds in the last 2.5 years. So now, no medication, the diabetes under control, energy. I mean, but they haven't asked about the diabetes or how I lost the weight, or just no remarks about it. So I just stopped going, basically. The last year, I wouldn't think of it.
Smart girl, Kat, and if you continue your dedication to avoiding the MDs, you, in fact, will live long and prosper. Candace from Ohio is up next. Let's see what she has to say. Hey, Candace, thanks for your time. You are live.
Good afternoon, Dr. Glidden. Thanks for taking my call.
I'm happy to do so. Candace, what's up?
Well, I called it in to thank you for all that you did for me, like everybody else. And in reply, when I spoke to you, I couldn't see my notes. And
hey, Candace, you're can you hold the phone a little closer or something? Your signal's breaking up a little on me.
Sorry. Well, right now I can read my notes, where in July I couldn't read my notes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect, Candace. Thank you.
Okay. And I was on 17 prescriptions 2 years ago. I was suffering from migraines, asthma, fibromyalgia, anxiety, depression, osteopenia, age-related macular degeneration, degenerative disc disease. I had lost 5 1/4 inches in height, and I was blind. I was so blind that when the lights went out at night, it was dark, and I got sick to my stomach and had to be in bed. Now, it's turned around. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening with rapt attention.
Okay. The doctors had given me 13 injections in my eyes, and the eye doctor said that he wanted to give me an injection in my eye once a month for the rest of my life, and said I couldn't see him anymore. And now I can walk and breathe. I'm back up to 5'3" and a half. And I didn't talk to you before about the tragic fall I had. I fell 10 foot and landed on brick steps across my hips and popped my tailbone out of place.
Wow.
Away from. Had to see the chiropractor every other day to have it pushed back into place, and I cracked both my hips in places. That's kind of why I was in bed a lot. But now it's all turned around. Thank you very much.
And tell me again what's going on with your vision.
Well, now it's like looking through cellophane. I can see colors. I can see shapes.
Yeah.
And I can read my notes.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yes.
And that's just gonna continue to get better. You know that, right?
Yes, it is. I showed a picture of myself 2 years ago to my sister, and her first thought was, who's this? My hair color is coming back, and the bunions have melted from my feet.
Isn't that remarkable? Candace, you are an inspiration.
The one doctor that was giving me the injections, I've tabulated up a month for the rest of my life, but just up to the last 3 years.
Yeah.
$23,750.
Unbelievable. And for that remarkable investment of money, you got nothing.
Nothing.
Unbelievable. Candace, I'm going to take your testimonial with me and keep it close to my heart. I appreciate your kind words very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the only people in the United States selling snake oil have MD after their name. Your medical doctor does not know what's best for you. Your medical doctor only knows what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is just one small piece of the pie of medical science. It's referred to as allopathic reductionism, and it's best suited for trauma care, surgery when it's absolutely necessary, and a handful of infectious diseases. But for everything else, for the stuff that most people go to the doctor for most of the time, MD-directed, reductionistic, allopathic, pharmaceutical-centrist medicine doesn't work. They're the wrong dog for the hunt. Guess what's the right dog for the hunt? Science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition brought to you by Dr. Glidden. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to the last segment of Fire Your MD Now. I appreciate your constant companionship over the last little while, and don't worry, we're not going away. We are just getting better. You can follow me through virtue of my website and my insider subscription. Check it all out, drglidden.com. Let's go to Texas and talk to James. Hey, James, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. About 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with spinal stenosis, a progressive degenerative condition that was making my back very painful and my legs and feet numb. I'd gotten to the point that walking downstairs, I would have to hold the handrail because I didn't know any second my knees might collapse on me and I'd go falling down the stairs. When I couldn't feel my feet, I just couldn't wear flip-flops or sandals that didn't have a back strap on them because you have to be able to feel those in order to keep them on your feet. In the mornings, I would get up and I was literally doubled over with pain, brush my teeth, bent over, not to reach the sink because I just couldn't stand up. First thing I did when I got into the kitchen, still bent over, was take my ibuprofen every morning, which I also took in the evening to go to sleep. And so I knew I was facing something. The neurosurgeon said I was facing imminent surgery. And so thanks to my wife having recently become associated with longevity, we were aware of you, and she called your program. You recommended the supplements that I should be taking. And on the first day that I started taking them, I did not have to take any ibuprofen that day. In fact, I've had no over-the-counter painkillers since that day. Zero. And the numbness in my legs and feet continues to go away. In fact, 2 days ago, before the cold weather came in, I was up and down a ladder painting the house outside without any fear of my knees having any problems. I could feel where I was going.
Wow.
I'm not completely healed, but every week it's a little bit better.
Jim, I mean, really, this is just remarkable. And how was it that your wife heard about us in the first place?
She was with Heritage Makers. And when Heritage Makers came in with longevity, that was our introduction to it.
Wow, it's remarkable, Jim. I mean, that's a remarkable testimonial to go out with. So we're going to stop the phone calls there, folks. Jim, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate your trust more than anything else because, you didn't know me from Adam. And yet when we talk about things, we talk about them truthfully. And when you talk about things truthfully, that resonates with people. And you can tell when somebody's giving you a line, a crock of crap, and when somebody's giving you the straight skinny. I appreciate your trust more than anything else, and the kind words are really awesome also. Thanks for everything that you do there in Texas, Jim. And, we're just getting started, folks. We're just getting warmed up. This is the beginning of Dr. Glidden 2.0. Fasten your seatbelts, batten down the hatches, put your helmets on, and set the dial for loud, because we are going to get loud in 2015. Dr. Glidden 2.0, the next iteration of my media presence, is going to be better, faster, more effective in helping you to spread our message of health recovery and wealth recovery through the application of boilerplate foundation medical nutrition for the masses. Everybody needs to know what we need to know, and nobody does. That means everybody in the world is your customer. Everybody in the world is your prospect, and I am not exaggerating. There is not one person alive on planet Earth who does not need what we have. Everybody needs what we have, and it's up to you to help us spread the message. Let me help you. Dr. Glidden 2.0, we're rolling it out, baby. Check me out all the time. Stay in touch. Stay in tune. drglidden.com. Become an insider yesterday, today, and tomorrow. God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll see you all around campus. And remember, live long and prosper. I remain your steadfast advocate for health. Now get out there and show somebody the light.